Hey everybody, it's probably going to be another choppy video. Gonna head over to South Buffalo just to kind of take a look over there. Thank you for all of the updates. Please keep me posted. I needed to come on today. I don't know what happened with Facebook earlier. I got a message that said I was going to be blocked for 3 days, so I do apologize to Facebook and everything that I said. So yeah, I can be upfront enough to say that. So I'm not sure what happened, or maybe it was an oversight on their part that I was supposed to be blocked, but I didn't get blocked. So I've been able to share everything and do all this stuff, which has been awesome. But everything that I'm hearing right now, South Buffalo is has SWAT over there. There are reports that there will be gangs rolling through the neighborhood. Also, there are reports. Niagara Square right now. I guess there's a peaceful thing. The protesters, they are protesters, and the police are kneeling. There's a link on my page. Somebody shared. No, they didn't share it on my page. So also, Hamburg, I guess there's 30 or 40 people going through, but it's supposed to be a peaceful protest. I've heard that. In Olean, there is a bus supposedly rolling in there. State troopers were told to leave. Now, I don't understand that. Like, law enforcement is supposed to be pulling these guys over, be preemptive, be preventative. If you're pulling people over, if you're allowing people to gather in a town, that's on you. Like, I am pissed now. This is over and done, guys. Like, everybody needs to make a statement at this point. Like, I'm done being like, hey, let's play nice with this shit. Let's let law enforcement do that. And in this area, thankfully, law enforcement is doing their jobs, but I haven't seen state troopers doing a whole lot. If Olean gets torched tonight because a bus got into town that they could have stopped because they sent troopers home, that's wrong. What else is wrong is that Raleigh is on fire. Philly, the equivalent of New York City's Madison Avenue, is on fire. They were looting that street in Philadelphia. This is done. Mandatory death sentence. And I know that's extreme. If you're caught looting or rioting, mandatory death sentence. And even if you don't act on it, at least let these guys know you're not playing games. Mandatory death sentence. Capital punishment. That's it. Guns are filled with bullets, real bullets, and you're getting shot. You want to end this tonight? You want to end this in a minute? That's how you end it. None of this playing nice and we're not going to arrest you. None of that bullshit anymore. That's over and done. How many nights is it, guys? 5 nights? 6 nights? People can't go into their businesses. They can't shop. They're terrified. And these people are laughing about it. They made a white woman, a white girl, a black man made a white girl get on her knees to apologize for her white privilege. That's bullshit. You're having police officers get on knees. That's bullshit. Stop getting down on knees and enabling these people. That's what's happening. So now you've got more threats all week long. And now we're looking at the 5th. Stop playing games. Capital punishment. You will be put to death. That's it. And no games. It's no injections or anything like that. If this is wartime and they want to be domestic terrorists, then wartime it is. And I'm not going to call to arms at this point because I hope it doesn't come to that. I really hope it ends peacefully. But we got to protect our loved ones, man. We got to protect our businesses. We got to protect our homes. We got to protect law enforcement. What is happening in Philly, what is happening in Raleigh, these people are hurting people bad. Like 8 officers from Raleigh are in the hospital still. And what is happening is so this is how you know it's orchestrated, because all across the state, all across the country, now they're suing officers for abusing rioters and looters. And it's not rioters and looters, guys. Make no mistake. This is an attack. This is war. This is declared war. This is This isn't domestic terrorism, guys. This is terrorism. This is an attack on our home. This is an attack on all our families. This is an attack on our friends. And if it keeps going, I will call everybody to arms. And I will pick up arms because it's done at this point. I am done with my family and my loved ones. I have people texting me, I haven't slept in 5 nights. Now, I get it. Losing sleep sucks. That's not bad. It's a lot better than losing your life being in other cities. But Philly, Madison Avenue is done. Exactly, Devin. Idaho picked up their arms. They took to the streets. Guess what? Ain't nobody coming to that town. These people are chicken shit. They are cowards. They wait till darkness falls and then they prey on people. This kneeling bullshit, I am the first one with police abuse of power. Fix it. Just fix it. Tell them, and I get it, like it hasn't been fixed for a long time, but this is now it's done. You know, the looting and the rioting, if you wanted to protest peacefully with all the people in the world and you wanted to go, I would have been arm in arm with you. Arm in arm with you. But at this point, we're losing people. We're losing former officers. We're losing elderly all the time. Done. And we're not paying for these assholes to sit in prison 25 years, feeding them, giving the good life. No, out, dead. And again, even if you don't, just put that out there. Play psyops with these guys. Put the bullets out there, man. Make it war. You're going to think really fast about going out and terrorizing people or making a white girl kneel or dragging an elderly lady out of her friggin' wheelchair. And again, I want to say, guys, this is not all black people, right? This is not. But war has been declared and this is orchestrated. This is absolutely orchestrated because many cities, this is happening in. Many cities have told their police departments to stand down. Rubber bullets. Welcomed the looters and the rioters in, and then told them they would not get arrested. And they're not getting arrested. And if they get arrested, they're being released immediately. This is an orchestrated attack. This was planned. You know that because all of these politicians are now suing police departments for doing their job, for trying to protect. So guess what that's going to do? If you're a police officer, are you going to want to go out? Are you going to want to help? Are you going to, because you're going to get sued or you're going to get arrested or you're going to get fined or lose your job? Are you going to, what do? That's the bullshit that happened with Clinton. That's the bullshit that put with Obama that put our military at risk. That's why when Trump came in, all the military professionals said, end it. This bullshit about being dancy and nice and this and everything else. No, end it assertively. Strong-handedly. That's it. It's done. I've been trying to be nice. I've been trying to be balanced. I've been trying to be, understanding. The peaceful protesters, I get it. Do that. But the kneeling bullshit, stop that kneeling down bullshit. That is enabling them. That is absolutely enabling them. You think that they won, you're going to kneel down? No. I kneeled to pray the other day down at Niagara Square. They were doing Juneteenth. And I was down there with Allison Nembaumer. And that was it. That was her and I. And, I was in harm's way, but I was there in solidarity. And I was there in unity with everybody that was down there. And I was calling out Byron Brown on all the real bullshit. On the real bullshit. Do you know how many people? 25 black people have been killed by police officers. 25. Is that horrible? Yes, it sucks. That's bad. You'd never want it to happen. I was the biggest outspoken opponent to it in forever. So I get it. But you're going to hold our hostage, our country hostage, our state hostage, our towns hostage, our friends hostage, our loved ones hostage. You're going to declare war on us day after day after day after you had us locked down for 3 months? No. Done. Somebody has to step forward and enable our police officers and law enforcement and put it out there and tell these people we're done playing. We are done playing at this point. I don't care at this point. You're a rioter or a looter. You have no sympathy for me. You get shot. You get killed. End of story. Capital punishment. That's what it is. That puts an end to this immediately. You're not going to go out. You're not going to be in some cop's face right there. Yeah, you're real courage. You got a lot of courage going in a cop's face or a state National Guardsman's face when you know they can't do anything to you. That's real brave. That's real brave attacking an elderly person. That's real brave torching their business when nobody's in there and you know there's going to be no consequences. They don't want to stand up for the real corruption. They don't want to stand up for the weaponization of all the government agencies. No, they want to stand up against the 25 black people that are killed. Do you know how many black people kill black people every year? It's not even close. Thousands and thousands of black people kill black people. Not even close. Do you know how many white people black people kill? Not even close. Thousands per year. Look it up. Guys, cdc.gov. You want all the stats? Go look them up. Put them on your Facebook page. Put them all up there. Let's get real. Let's get factual. Let's see who the real racists are. It's not white people. White people aren't the racists. We've been there for everybody. We've been standing by everybody. We're there supporting you. We welcome you in. Give you everything that you want and more. You have every opportunity. It's your own community that is victimizing you. Your politicians are victimizing you. Your religious leaders are victimizing you. I went to a church to listen to somebody talk, and that's all they talked about was their own community victimizing them. Each other, killing one another. Guys, they are being played. All of these young people, all these young black people, all the black people that are there, they are absolutely being played. 1,000% being played, guys. And they're being played by the elites. They're in this country who have an agenda. Their agenda is to tear apart our country. It's to tear apart our families. It's to tear apart our businesses. It's to terrorize us. At this point, it's done. Like, how do you allow this to happen? De Blasio, Cuomo is going to blame De Blasio. Cuomo, you should be dragged out of your place, put in jail, and charged with treason. That's exactly what should be done. And every other mayor across this town should be charged with treason. That allowed this, that enabled this to happen. How many states stopped this because they had a show of force? But they had all the liberal states, not the liberal, all the areas in the liberal states, but the liberal cities. Guys, this was planned. This was absolutely orchestrated. We know the scumbags that are holding these political offices that are these complete and utter leftists with this globalist agenda, that they've been plotting this forever. They've enabled Antifa. They've been sympathizers with Antifa. They're sympathizers with the criminals. They're releasing the criminals. Like, you can't argue this point anymore. There is no room for argument that the government is corrupt and that the government is allowing and enabling this. They are suing police officers for excessive force during wartime. When they are robbing, rioting, looting, and doing everything to our towns. It's done. This is over. They need to stop this. And they need to make sure that they tell people our law enforcement can't be held hostage anymore. Our towns, our cities, we cannot be scared anymore. No more. And if it starts happening here seriously again, then that's it, guys. It's Idaho at this point. Now, if we don't discharge our weapons, that's fine. But I know for a fact we all have a hell of a lot more weapons than they do. And our numbers are way more than they are. So start getting pissed. Start getting pissed. Start demanding action. Stop being the white guy, the white woman that's going to sit there because they know we're going to sit there and take it. They know that. It's all in writing. They will not. We know that we can push them this far until they're going to actually do something. It's all in writing. They know that we're going to be compliant. They know that, we're going to be all apologetic. Stop living in fear. Guys, this has got to stop. And now we're like, in the 5th. No, fuck that. Sorry. Screw that. On the 5th in Niagara Falls, that's going to possibly be it. Olean, done. Why are police not pulling them over, putting everybody in jail? Why? Ask yourself that. Niagara Falls, this might be happening again. No, you come in, you will be shot. You riot, you loot, you will be shot. Done. You will be charged with treason, you will be charged with terrorism, and you will die. You will be put to death. You get that word out, I guarantee you, even if you don't act on that PSYOP will make people stop. And then guess what? You do it one night, one time, in one city, and it's over, and it's done. And you know what? You deal with the flack. You deal with the bullshit that's going to come from the liberals and the leftists, because that's what they're waiting for. They're just waiting for us to do that, right? They're just waiting for law enforcement to do that. You know, I'm tired of it. Hearing that, maybe I'm so pissed off. Maybe I'm so pissed off right now because they stole the turtle from the Buffalo Zoo, the red-footed turtle. What did the red-footed turtle do? Just like our police here. What did they do? It's a joke. This is a joke. I love the fact that we're all sharing. Keep doing that, guys. Make sure that we're doing that tonight. Make sure we're watching out for one another. Make sure we're keeping each other safe. Guys, the curfew, last night I said the curfew wasn't hard and let the police, do their jobs and everything else. But, I saw last night that our towns are vulnerable, guys. Our towns are absolutely vulnerable. If they want to come in and they want to do what they want to do, they're going to do it. Unless we're out there making sure we're eyes on the street, If you've got a friend's business, go to the business. Stay on the phone with somebody the whole time, I sat I knew it was quiet. I sat in the plaza just to make sure nothing was going to happen. And if somebody did come, I'd pick up the phone and call. I don't want to engage anybody now. That action isn't happening here. Thankfully, we have been proactive and preemptive and preventative. These other cities where we have family and friends and loved ones living in, they haven't been. Welcome in, come on in. Loot and riot and hold us hostage with your terrorists for how many days? At least since what? Friday, Saturday? We're on Tuesday. So 5-6 days of being held by terrorists hostage? Not acceptable. What is this? The lockdown first, all bullshit. It was all bullshit, guys. Look at the stats. All I got to tell you is look at the countries that are open. Look at the science. Look at it. They are open 3 days. And then as soon as businesses are ready to open, as soon as they're ready to go into phase 2, you don't think that was scheduled and organized, and they had it all planned? You're kidding yourself. If you think it wasn't scheduled, organized, and planned, take a look at the fact that these people aren't being arrested. In all the liberal cities, all of them, where they have the sympathizers, that they know they're not going to get arrested, they know the police aren't going to do anything. That's where all this is going down. That's where it's all happening. Guess what? You don't see this happen in the red states with the guns where they're walking through the streets and they're saving people. South Buffalo, you got the SWAT team. It ain't happening there. Hamburg ain't happening there. They ain't going to deal with that shit. Why isn't every city and town across America doing the same thing? I've talked about being preventative. I've talked about being preemptive. These guys have the plans. They know what they could have done. They didn't do it. And instead they invite them out. And now Cuomo, if you think Cuomo didn't murder people, he absolutely murdered people. You know how I know and how everybody else knows? Because he pushed it on Trump and he's pushing it on de Blasio. He's throwing him under the bus. That's the tactic you employ. Deflect. Put it on somebody else. I'm not going to be me. I'm Teflon, You know that Cuomo is guilty. You know he's guilty as sin. And you know de Blasio is guilty as sin. And the mayor of Philly and the mayor of Minneapolis and all of these politicians, you know they are guilty as sin. And they are complicit in this. Even if they didn't help organize it, they helped it happen by telling people that it was going to be a light hand. Oh, well, wait, You mean I get to come into your town and I get to loot and I get to bust up everything and I get to do anything I want and nothing's going to happen to me? Sign me up. I'm in. Shit. You mean I get to break in and just do whatever I want, take anything I want? I like that plan. That's a pretty good plan. Who does that in the history of this country, guys? Who does that? Take a look. Do your research. When at any other time in the history of this country has what happened now is happening? Releasing criminals never happened in the history of our country. An entire lockdown of an entire country for 3 months, not the entire country, because it wasn't the entire country. 11 states never shut down, and you have dozens of states that really, they opened up like after 5 weeks. So it's not the entire country. It's the blue states that have, for the first time in history, locked everything down. And still, we don't know when we're going to open up. It's got to be a mandatory vaccination. New York State Bar Association is going to, they're going to force, we're going to make the rules so that we get mandatory vaccinations. Mandatory vaccinations, guys, it's coming. It doesn't matter what's in it. And everybody says, well, I'm not getting the vaccination. I'm not getting the vaccination. Are you wearing a mask? Let me ask you. You wearing a mask? Are you wearing a mask when you go into the store? Guess what? You're getting a vaccination. You know how? Because they're going to force you to get a vaccination. Just like I wrote years ago, just like I wrote 4 months ago when this whole thing started, the forced vaccinations are coming through employers. They're going to come through social services. Just like they did, just like they're doing with your kids, guys. They mandated vaccinations for your kids. They mandated vaccinations for your kids. They will mandate vaccinations for you. You know the only way it stops, guys? If you step up. You gotta step up. I don't care which group you belong to now, but you gotta step up. We're having a peaceful protest this Saturday over at the Target on Transit by Maple. And there's a value there. Come out. We are writing, it's peaceful. We'll have a rolling protest. There's people going to be walking around. Never again. It starts at 11:30. Never again. Never again. How does this happen? How did we let it get this bad? How did we let it get this far? How did we let our law enforcement become this susceptible? They're in harm's way. They are in harm's way and have been in harm's way now and being killed. I don't think there's been that many officers killed. I don't know if there's been any, but they've been being harmed, run over. They were run over in our city. 3 officers run over in our city. I was right there. And people want to sit back and hey, just let it play out. Let's let it play out. No. It doesn't work that way. In the history of ever, it never works that way. It empowers them. They want to keep doing, we get to do this. Oh, let's do it again. They're still saying we're not getting arrested. Let's do it again. And then guess what? They start shooting more. They start getting braver. They start using their vehicles as weapons even more against our law enforcement. And then guess what? It doesn't stop there. Now it starts moving to residences. Because it's a fix. They can't, it's not enough just to burn stuff in the street, shoot guns in the air. Guess what? I was on Bailey. I was right there. I saw it all. They lit the stuff on fire right in front of me, put the huge pound right there. Kids right in front of me shooting the gun right up in the air. I'm done being terrorized, guys. You know, we've done a great job doing what we're doing here. But guys, these officers are being hurt. And they're getting sued for doing their job and politicians are suing them. On what planet is that right? Never in the history of our country has this happened. It's gotta be death. If you loot, if you riot, death. If you're looting and you're rioting, you'll get shot. Guess what? You're gonna get shot and you're probably gonna get killed. Not sorry. Because guess what? People deserve to live their lives. They deserve to live their lives. And police have a job to do, and they should be able to protect people, and they should be able to protect themselves. And that's the way it is. And like I said, if it's a psyop, and you just tell people you're going to do that, then let it be a psyop. I don't care. But make them afraid. Make them scared. Right now, they aren't scared. They're making white girls kneel and pray for forgiveness, that they don't shoot them in the head because of something they didn't do. White privilege. Oh yeah, my white privilege. Yeah. let me tell you about my white privilege. Every single relative I had that lived in the city, all of us, everybody here that lived in the city, our families were pushed out of the communities. Why? Because of racism. All the white people, the black people were racists. They kicked them out. My family robbed their house. They were assaulted inside their home. These are the elderly. And you guys know this happened. This is why everybody moved to Cheektowaga. This is why everybody moved to the suburbs. So you want to talk about epidemic levels of racism that you should be paying for and kneeling down for? Let's talk about that. But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that these homes that our families built and lived in and made these wonderful, beautiful communities for one another, where all the different places in the city that they were there, they got pushed out. All their friends left. And guess what? Then they couldn't leave because they couldn't get $500 for their house. Where were they going to live when they're going to get $500 for their house? And you all know that's what their houses were worth. They grew up in those houses, and now they're stuck. This happened through the 70s. We all know this. We all know this, guys. 60s, 70s, 50s. Worse and worse and worse. And that's another thing. How do you even say that I'm going to start doing a YouTube series where I'm going around all these towns where all the shops are closed, the roads are destroyed, the homes are vacant, the shops are vacant. Guys, we all know that this shit has been this way for decades. Decades. This shit has been like this. Who's fixing it? Nobody is fixing it. You go through Niagara Falls, go through East Side. That shit hasn't gotten better since the 50s and the 60s. It has gotten worse. And Byron Brown's sitting there, Juneteenth. How long you been in office, Byron? How long, buddy? How many years it been? You done anything about the East Side? Done anything about the roads? Nah? Yeah, but celebrate Juneteenth. And talk about how the 25 people in the country, in the entire country, get killed, the black people that get killed by police officers. Now, I know the number's more than 25, but it's 25 unarmed black people. You got a gun and you're getting shot. Sorry, that's the way it works. I get a gun and I go outside, I ain't black. Guess what? I'm getting shot. They're dropping my ass. Don't matter. White, black, anything else. Guys, this bullshit about white privilege. How rich were your parents? How rich were your grandparents? They busted their asses. And guess what? Black people did too. And guess what? Hispanic people did too. All of these ethnicities busted their ass. But guess what? You wanted handouts. You wanted to take out handouts and you didn't want to work hard. You wanted to sit at home. Guess what? You're going to be poor. That's the way it works. But take a look around. All the other ethnicity, everybody else in your group, they're working. You don't see Hispanic people doing this. You don't think they're oppressed. You don't see the Asian community doing this. You think they're oppressed? So ask yourselves. They preyed on our black community. And the black community bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. And they're doing what they've always done. And they're doing what they know. And that sucks that they were played and they were preyed upon. Because that's exactly what happened. Make no mistake about that. I don't know who was involved. I don't know if it was Antifa. I don't know who it was. But it was orchestrated. You don't think that all this stuff just organically happens all at the same time? It don't. I can guarantee you that. It don't. It's real tough to do that without paying somebody off. I know. I've been a part of these protests now for the past 3 months with everything shut down. And I have brilliant people there that weren't working, so they could attend. But everybody's got reasons for not showing up. All kinds of reasons, like I don't want to be ostracized. I don't want somebody from my business to see me. My friends or my family to hate me for showing up for a protest for ending a lockdown, so they go back to business. They go back to work. Oh, and then guess what? You're opening up, but you can't go back to work now because we don't know if we can protect you because there's all these riots going on and we got to be at all these other places. It ain't right, guys. I'm going over to South Buffalo now. I'll check it out, keep everything going. I'll come back live if anything happens. But guys, it's time to say enough. It's time for us to come together. It really is. It's time for us to get together as one and never again. Protest this Saturday, 11:30 we're meeting, Target on Maple Drive. This shit's got to stop. And in these other cities where this stuff is going down right now, it has to stop. Our law enforcement this many nights, our friends, our family, our fellow citizens, our fellow New Yorkers having to deal with this ain't right. It ain't right. And I hope and pray that somebody finally realizes how many weeks is it going to get into this, guys? How many weeks? We all said it was going to be 10 days for the lockdown. 93 days later. I love it when people say, it's 51 days. Wait, excuse me, what? What are you counting? It's over 90 days. It's been 3 months. All the shit's been locked down. Actually longer, way longer than that, because the schools closed. All the public schools, all the colleges, all that stuff closed. All closed. It shut down. So now you're going on, 3.5 months? 3.5 months. Shut down. Oh, we don't know when we're going to open up exactly, except the rest of the country's opened up, and we know the rest of the country is getting sick and falling dead, but we're still going to stay closed. And you got to wear a mask, which is bullshit because all the science says so. Oh, that's one thing I would say about the mask, okay? So they just released, so this is what New York State's tactic is. They released the first set of rules all printed out for businesses to be able to do what they got to do. And we've got researchers, guys. We got some of the best researchers. So when people say I don't know shit, or I don't know what I'm talking about, guess what? I know what I'm talking about. You know how I know what I'm talking about? Because I got some of the best researchers there are. And we look this shit up, and we follow this shit, and we read it, and we study it, and we chronicle it, and we all put it in a log. That's what we're doing. Because we got plans. We got plans to take this state back. And what happened was the classic Cuomo tactic, released the first phase 2 or phase 3 rules, all said that you can't, or you got to force them to wear masks. Guess what? Second one that they knew none of the businesses would read said strongly suggest wearing masks. You cannot force them to wear masks. They can sue you if you force them to wear masks. Literally what it says. You don't believe me? Hey, go look it up. I'm going to share it later so you can read it on my page because I got good researchers. I have very good researchers. And we're working together. And we're pissed. We are pissed. You should be pissed too. Help us. We want your help. We want to be there with you guys. We want to be there. We want to take this state back. We're tired of our kids leaving. And who's going to live in this state now? Mandatory vaccinations, CPS taking kids, and that's a fact. Fact, guys. Jody Glazner, you want to look it up? Go look up her story. Talked about that earlier today. Who's going to stay in this state? And then you've got de Blasio and Cuomo. Yeah, well, here's the other thing. Okay, everybody, people all in favor of the lockdown. They're like, I want the lockdown. I gotta protect one another. The virus. You gotta have the lockdown. And now people are pissed about a curfew.
Are you serious? You can't write this stuff. You can't make it up. Ooh, lockdown's good. We gotta be safe, gotta be safe. 10-day lockdown, that's all we need. Bend the trend, stop the curve. 10, we'll be fine. Everybody will be good. 3.5 months later, bend the trend is done. 3 weeks peak, 5 weeks done is proven. Everywhere. Proven. We're still closed. Oh, hey, we got looters and we got rioters and we got people that may be burning up houses and the same people, same exact people want the lockdown. I support the lockdown. I get the virus. What? Why are we having a curfew? Curfew? That's tyranny. A curfew? That's fascism. Yeah. Let me tell you something. You're right. A curfew is fascism. It is tyrannical. And guess what? So is lockdown. Lockdown is tyranny and fascism. That's what that was. Whole erosion of constitutional rights. Religious freedoms, medical freedoms, ability to do business, pursuit of life, liberty, happiness. Yeah, that's tyrannical. That's the very definition of tyranny. Curfew at 8. It's still tyranny, but you got looters and rioters. So, yeah, it's a little bit justified. The virus with proven it's not affecting people. All the countries, all the science, all the data, everything in. Tens of thousands of viral scientists, epidemiologists, local hospitals empty, nurses laid off, nobody getting COVID, county after county after county, states, 11 states never shut down, guys. All kinds of states stayed open. They're open now. They ain't dying. Oh, by the way, Cuomo on camera laughing that a guy died in Florida. Yeah, that guy died. Yeah, curfew, I get it. Sucks. I hate it too. Under normal circumstances, bullshit, tyranny, fascism. But guess what? Law enforcement needs some help. And the lockdown you supported kind of contributed to this. You got people sitting in houses really bored. Nothing to do. And they're easy pickings. Come on, guys, we got something to do. Man, we're gonna go loot. Woo! We're gonna go riot. We're gonna go steal some stuff. Yeah, it's pretty easy. You've been sitting around in a house for 3 months. Hey, we're gonna do something. It's nice out. Yeah, let's go. Thank God it rained last night, guys. That was a beautiful rain. The thunderstorm was awesome. Loved it. That shut it down. Great equalizer, man. Ain't nobody want to get wet, right? Nobody want to get wet. Just like nobody wants to get shot and killed. And nobody wants to be put to death for rioting and looting. You're a domestic terrorist. You're starting a war. Guess what? You die. You terrorize our neighborhoods. You terrorize our families. You terrorize our homes. You burn our homes down. You make police officers kneel. You make anybody kneel. You pull them out. You die. And that's how police need to start going on this. That will put this shit won't ever happen again. Because guess what? They see they're not getting hurt now and they keep kneeling. You think it's stopping anytime soon? You don't think it's going to come back again? And guess when it's going to come back again? I don't know. What year is it? 2020? Hey, what do we got? I think we got an election, right? Sometime around November, right? We got an election. Yeah. Something tells me what? Around October, Halloween maybe, we're going to start seeing these protests again. Guess what? You make it so cops can protect themselves and protect our neighborhoods and protect our cities and protect our towns. You make it so that they can shoot people on the spot, dead. This will stop. It ain't no black or white thing. You're looting, you're dead. You get arrested, you're a terrorist, you're treasonous, you're dead. And it ain't gonna be any easy death. It's a hanging death, or it's a by shooting death. And it's very public. You want terrorism, you want fascism, you want tyranny, guess what? Our side has way more skill. We got way more heart. We got way more determination. We got way more drive. We got way more guns, and we got way more bullets. And we know how to shoot. And we don't miss. So, think about that. Guys, thanks for listening. This was a long one. I got to get over to South Buffalo. Please keep giving me the information that we are. Stay safe. Love you guys. Pray for everybody in our... It's a war zone, guys. Like, it is a war zone in these other towns. I know people in these towns. They are witnessing right below them the equivalent of Madison Drive in Philadelphia tore up. Where Philly PD? Where you guys at? Where are you guys at? Could have prevented it. Buffalo PD did. Across the country did. San Diego on fire. It's just sick and sad, guys. It really is. So that's it. That's all I got. I just want to mention the protest one more time for everybody's there, guys. It's never again, and it's all about giving back all of us our freedom. It's on Saturday. It's 11:30. We're going to have a lot of people there. We're going to have a rolling protest with vehicles, with signs. It's very peaceful. It's very respectful. Gets you out of the house. Gets you in the sunshine. Every protest we have has been awesome. Anybody that gives us the finger, which is very few people, we say we love them. We write back, we love you. I don't think the protesters here, if somebody gave them the finger, is going to be saying I love you, right? That's coming out of left field. I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would say I love you. But guys, Saturday, Target Plaza, Transit and Maple. I don't know which town that is. What the hell town is that? Clarence, is Williamsville, it all comes together. Rick, Latona, which town is it? So, guys, and then afterwards we do like a meet and greet, and Scott Ball usually brings some food, brings donuts and coffee, guys. Bring anything you want. But it's very peaceful. It's very respectful. Police are there with us, supporting us. Firefighters are beeping the horns. Paramedics are. We're not open yet, guys. There's a lot of small businesses that are still shut down, and this can happen again. And then mandatory vaccinations, June 13th, New York State Bar Association is deciding on how to make it possible so there's no way you can refuse that mandatory vaccination. There will be few medical exemptions, but you will have to have documentation on that. And that you want to look that up, go ahead, look it up. June 13th, they're meeting. You don't believe me? June 13th. And they will force us, like I said, are you wearing a mask? You're wearing a mask, you're getting the vaccination. It's really, guess what? I got a plan. I know how I'm going to avoid it, just like I avoided all the vaccinations when I was in the military. You figure it out. I know how I'm going to avoid them, and I know a lot of my friends, and I know they're going to know how to avoid them and do it, but they ain't going to make it easy, guys. So you sit there and you say, it ain't going to be me. I ain't getting that vaccination. I don't know what it's going to do. Are you working? Your work's going to force you. Are you wearing a mask at work? They're going to force you for this vaccination. You want to go shopping? You're going to have this document to go in there, and you're going to have that to go shopping. Just like I called way back when. You want to receive social services, you want to see that Medicare check, you want to see that retirement check, that Social Security check, you better have that document, because otherwise you ain't getting it. You ain't getting it. These guys, that's all they have all day long is to figure it out. When you get the attorneys involved, that's all they got all day long is to figure it out, guys. So Saturday, that's what we're protesting. We're protesting Open Up New York. You trust the science, because that's what it is, guys. It's science. The data is in. All the countries across the world that have been open, they never shut down. 3-week peak, hospitals were not overwhelmed. Never happened. We had a 10-day originally, and then a 15-day bend the trend, stop the curve so hospitals wouldn't be inundated. All the hospital tents that went up, take it down, never one person in them. And incrementally, each hospital emptied. Yeah, COVID wasn't such a serious thing. But guess what? Looters and rioters are. Mandatory vaccinations are. Doing this again and having another round of riots and another round of looting in October Because you can bet your ass that's coming. Unless you make a strong stand now. Good night, guys. I'm going over to South Buffalo. Hopefully it's safe there. I report anything. I'll share anything with you guys. Have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for paying attention. Love you guys. Prayers to everybody. And prayers for the red-footed turtle. Prayers for the red-footed turtle. Red-footed turtle's gone, guys. Taken. And whoever took him, guarantee, isn't certified or licensed to take care of that poor little turtle. So if anybody has any information about the little red turtle from the Buffalo Zoo, try to share that. I'm sure ain't nobody going to be able to figure that out, but prayers for our country, prayers for all you guys, prayers for all our law enforcement, prayers for family, prayers for friends, prayers for our fellow New Yorkers here, everybody in Philadelphia. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I will talk to you. Hopefully I won't have anything to say tonight. Hopefully everything will be good. I'll catch up with you later. Good night.